Welcome back, boys and girls. Today we are going to do something a little bit different. We are going to start doing our combos by normal summoning Vision HERO Vyon today instead of using Stratos or Miracle Ejector. Now this is actually important because sometimes we cannot draw the cards that we need, and that's why we need other cards in order to finish our end board, and Vyon is one of those card combo pieces that can literally do one card combo. So that's why we need to learn how to finish our end board with different methods. Today I'm going to show you two different combos. One of them is going to be a simple version, the other one is going to be an advanced version. Well, obviously we always want to use the advanced version because our end board is going to get stronger, but just for the beginners, I'm also going to include the simple version. So without further explanation, let's get started by normal summoning Vision HERO Vyon immediately, and then we are going to use its mill effect in order to send Shadow Mist to our graveyard, which is going to trigger her effect, and we can search any hero card from our deck to our hand. Now, because we already used our normal summon, we are going to use Miracle Ejector because we can special summon her and continue doing our combos. But before we summon her, we are going to use Vision HERO Vyon's second effect by banishing Shadow Mist from our graveyard in order to search Polymerization from deck to our hand. Now we can special summon Miracle Ejector by sending a copy of Aqua Dolphin to the graveyard or any Neospatial that you're running in your deck, and we are going to use her effect in order to search E and Shuffle from our deck. Once we activate E and Shuffle, we can return Miracle Ejector back to our deck and special summon Elemental Hero Stratos from our deck. Now we are going to search Elemental Hero Neos from our deck to our hand, and then we can play Polymerization immediately in order to fusion summon Elemental Hero Flame Wingman. The summoning conditions are at least 2 Elemental Hero monsters with different attributes. Now we can use Flame Wingman's effect in order to add our trap card Favorite Contact to our hand. We can also use its second effect because we have used a normal monster as material, which is going to help us to spatial summon Elemental Hero Sunrise. We're going to use Sunrise effect in order to add Miracle Fusion to our hand. Now before we activate Miracle Fusion, we are going to link summon into extra Hero Wonder Driver. The summoning conditions are at least 2 hero monsters, so we are going to get rid of the monsters that we control. And then we are going to activate Miracle Fusion. We are going to fusion summon Thunder Giant by banishing Flame Wingman and Elemental Hero Neos from our graveyard. And we are going to special summon him right under where Wonder Driver's arrow points to. Now we can recycle Polymerization from our graveyards and set it. Now again, because we used a normal monster as material, we can use Thunder Giant's second effect in order to special summon Elemental Hero Stratos from our graveyard. And because Stratos' search effect is not hard once per turn, we can make another search from our deck, which is going to be Mask Hero Duskgrove. Now we can special summon Duskgrove from our hand by banishing 1 hero monster from our graveyard. Let's just banish Vision HERO Vyon. And once we special summon him, we can make another search for a Mask Hero monster from our deck to our hand. So now we can activate Polymerization, and we are going to fusion summon Contrast Hero Chaos by using our Mask Hero monsters that we have. Now because we used Fountain and sent it to the graveyard with the card effects, we can set Mask Change from our deck. Now we are going to link summon Verte Anaconda by using Stratos and Wonder Driver because we don't need them anymore. We can use its effect in order to fusion summon DPE from our deck by sending its fusion materials to the graveyard. We are going to set Favorite Contact from our hand because we have searched it. We are going to activate E and Shuffle by banishing itself and returning Thunder Giant and Aqua Dolphin back to our deck, and we can draw a card. Now when you look at this board, we have Contrast Hero Chaos, which is good because this is an Omni Negate. We have DPE, it can recycle itself, it can destroy a card on the field, and also we have Favorite Contact and we have Mask Change. Now when we use one of these monsters' effects, we can chain with Mask Change and summon Mask Hero Darkglow from our deck. Unfortunately, we do not have another hero monster that has a dark attribute, so that's why we need to use either one of these monsters. And in the following turn, we can use Malicious and Deny by special summoning them from the graveyard. This is not our strongest board, but it's still playable and it's still a decent board. Now we are going to start again by normal summoning Vision HERO Vyon and use its effect in order to send Shadow Mist to the graveyard. We are going to make a search, which is going to be Miracle Ejector again. We can banish Shadow Mist from our graveyard in order to search Polymerization from our deck. We are going to Spatial Summon Miracle Ejector from our hand by sending an Neospatian card. And we are going to search EN Shuffle from our deck to our hand. And we can activate EN Shuffle by returning Miracle Ejector. Now, we can Spatial Summon Blazeman, we can Spatial Summon Spirit Muse, but Spatial Summoning those cards will not lead us to anywhere. Okay, so that's why we need to Spatial Summon Stratos again. And we are going to use its search effect. But this time, I'm not going to search Elemental Hero Neos immediately. We need to extend our board with extra bodies. So that's why I'm going to search Masquerade Duskrow instead. Now, if you remember from our previous videos, we are going to XC summon into normal 60 Dugares. And we are going to use its secondary effect by sending both materials to the graveyard and special summoning Stratos from our graveyard to the field. Now, because Stratos search effect is not hard once per turn, we can make another search. And again, we are still not going to search for Elemental Hero Neos, okay? We are actually going to search for another copy of Stratos this time. Now we are going to Special Summon Duskrow by banishing Vyon from our graveyard. And now we can make another search. We definitely want to search Fountain. Now we can use Fountain's effect by Special Summoning Stratos from our hand to the field. Now we can use Stratos effect one more time. And we are going to search Elemental Hero Neos this time. So first we are going to Link Summon Wonder Driver. Now I can Fusion Summon Flaming Man. The summoning conditions are 2 Elemental Hero monsters with different attributes, and we need a normal monster as material so that we can resolve its secondary effect as well. We would like to summon right under where Wonder Driver points to, and we are going to set Polymerization from our graveyard. Now, do not use the effect of Flaming Man. We are going to Special Summon Cross Sheep by using these two cards. Now, Cross Sheep has a beautiful effect if you remember. If you Fusion Summon either here or here, because that's where the arrows are pointing to, we can actually Special Summon one level 4 or lower monster from our graveyard. So that's why we are gonna use Flaming Man's effect right now and Special Summon Sunrise. Let's put it right under here. And then we need to resolve this chain link. Now, in this video, I'm not going to Special Summon Aqua Dolphin. If you want, you can Special Summon him. The chain link order will not be important. If they have Nibiru or any other card that troubles you, you can totally destroy it. But for this video, I'm going to Special Summon Stratos, and the chain link order should be like this. Cross Sheep has to be chain link 1, and Sunrise has to be chain link 2. Because when you look at Stratos effect, it says when this card is normal or special summoned. The wordings is starting with when, not if. So that's why Stratos effect has to be resolved last. Otherwise, if you put Cross Sheep as chain link 2, that means Stratos effect will not resolve, it will miss its activation time. Okay? So that's why Cross Sheep is going to be chain link 1 and Sunrise will be chain link 2. We are going to search for Miracle Fusion. And now we can Special Summon Stratos. Now we can use this effect. We are going to search for Masquerade Furnace. We have 2 Masquerade monsters in our hand. We have Polymerization set, we have Miracle Fusion, and we have a bunch of monsters in our field. So what I'm gonna do for a change is, I'm gonna use Masquerade Fountain and Furnace, but I am not going to summon Contrast Hero Chaos, okay? This time I'm going to summon Elemental Hero Absolute Zero. Now, we are gonna put Masquerade Furnace chain link 1 and Masquerade Fountain chain link 2 so that we can chain block the first effect. We're going to set our mass change and we are going to Special Summon Masquerade Furnace. Now I'm going to activate Miracle Fusion in order to Fusion Summon Contrast Hero Chaos by banishing Fountain and Duskrow from my graveyard. So again, normally we could have 2 Contrast Hero Chaos in our field, but I just wanted to summon Absolute Zero for a change, so that's why we control only one copy. So now at this moment we have two options. Number one, we can just summon Verte Anaconda by using two effect masters, and then we can use its effect to special summon DPE, or we can first special summon Infernal Divisor, so that we can use that card with mask change in order to summon Dark Law if you don't want to get rid of your Contrast Hero Chaos or DPE, and then we can summon Anaconda and summon DPE. Let's summon only Anaconda for example, by using Stratos because we don't need it anymore, and Cross Sheep. Now I'm gonna use Verte Anaconda's effect in order to fusion summon DPE by sending its materials to the graveyard. And if you like, you can destroy Verte Anaconda, and that's what I'm going to do actually. We are going to special summon DPE back. We can set favorite contact, we can activate E and shuffle by returning Neospatial Aqua Dolphin, and we can return a copy of Stratos because we need these two cards in our graveyard. And let's just end our turn. Now this is our end board. If you don't need to summon Dark Law, you can actually use mask change on Absolute Zero. When we send Absolute Zero to the graveyard and special summon asset, we need to decide the chain link order, okay, because both effects will trigger at the same time. One of them will try to destroy all of our opponent's spells and trap cards, the other one will try to destroy all of our opponent's monsters. Even if you don't use mask change on Absolute Zero, this card is still a big threat to your opponent, because this card's destruction effect triggers when it leaves the field. This can be triggered by either your opponent or by you. Since we control DPE, for example, we can decide to destroy Absolute Zero, and then we can destroy another card on your opponent's field, and once that effect resolves, Absolute Zero's effect will trigger and destroy all monsters your opponent controls. So Absolute Zero is still a good card, and also Mask Hero Asset is still a good card, but unfortunately we can only put 15 extra deck monsters, and over the years we have received so much support, and that's why our extra deck is so tight. I mean, you can still run Absolute Zero, which has a really good synergy with the deck, but I think you won't be able to find space for Mask Hero Asset. I just wanted to show you this card for this video specifically, but in reality, in my deck, I wouldn't have any space for assets, and probably you would have the same issue as well. So this board was pretty much our advanced board. Again, if you don't want to keep Furnace on your field or Sunrise on your field, you can use both of these cards in order to link summon Infernal Divisor, and you can use Mask Change on it in order to special summon Dark Law. But I always like to keep different attributes on my field, because Sunrise boosts our attack points of our monsters depending on each different attribute we control. And if you remember Shining Neon's Wingman's effect, this card can destroy cards up to the number of different attributes on the field. So for example, we control Dark, we control Light, we control Water, and we control Fire. So that literally makes 4 different attributes, which means that we can destroy up to 4 cards on the field. So that's pretty much for all today. I hope that you guys enjoyed both single and advanced versions of this combo. If you have any questions following to the related video or the previous videos, just let me know, and I'll see you guys next time.